Hey
Hello!
everybody! Trip report number 3 from Ginny's farm in Ukiah.
hmm
So, we've got some stories for you, starting with where we left off, which was Bend, Oregon, where we went to meet up with one of my oldest friends, Ben Whitaker, who just moved there. And we arrived on Halloween, which was awesome.
It was awesome. We got to see all the little kiddos and give
hmm
them candy, and we went out to a bar.
Halloween concert.
Basically, Bend was wilderness, coffee shops, and what was the last thing? Oil changes.
Car repairs.
Oh my gosh.
Car repairs. So, yeah, we found an amazing spot because there's so much amazing national forest just right outside of Bend. So we found a beautiful, super chill spot to park our bus, and we were like just settled for the whole time we were there. We got to go in and spend time at some really nice coffee shops and get work done on our computers, chill, kind of recuperate after, a week and a half of being cold and wet all the time.
All the time.
And ate amazing food.
We met this one person. We went out and
We went to McMenamins.
balled out on a delicious
Got
dinner.
fish and chips.
Oh, it
and
was
a burger.
And
Did you get a burger?
cocktail, I think so.
Got drinks.
It was so
cider
good.
flight. It was amazing, and we had the coolest waitress. It's our new friend Max. I've never had a waitress just come and sit down at the booth with me before, but we had a rapport. She just came and sat down, and throughout our meal, we were just sharing stories, getting to know each other, and it was just nice to make a new friend
She
in a
gave us
random
free
town.
dessert too, which
Free
was so
dessert.
nice, so
That was
delicious.
awesome. So, great food. We got to go ride our bikes, wander around the wilderness, and then finally we decided to do an oil change.
Because we didn't realize when we got this bus that they hadn't done an oil change for a few years.
It's been a long time.
I looked at the oil and it was
Nasty.
black. It was black.
Real
It
nasty.
was so gross.
So we decided to do our own oil change, which we had done before on the other car, so we figured it would be easy enough to do on the bus. We got the materials we needed, and I climbed under the bus. There's a video that hopefully some of you have seen. And everything was going great. We drained the oil and everything, and then it came time to replace the filter. And the tool that is supposed to replace the filter, which you twist the filter with, and it's supposed to grab it real tight, and then
And
you
it looks
just
super
crank
easy.
it off. It did not do what it was supposed to do. It just twirled. It just did not grip. So we looked online, and the next thing was to put a piece of rubber around the filter and pull with a belt.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't work, so finally, the last resort option is to hammer a screwdriver through the oil filter and use that as a crank handle to twist it off. And believe it or not, that was the magic potion. That worked perfectly, and it was hilarious, and I got covered in oil and cut up my hand. It was great. So
And then we left.
That
We
was
went
Bend.
straight to Ashland. No, we went to go try to find some hot springs. We saw these hot springs. It was the last ones in Oregon, and we really wanted to go. And so we drove there. It was like an hour and a half away.
Yep.
And we stopped at the base of the mountain with
Mhm.
the bus and drove up the mountain to go try to find these hot springs.
Mm-hmm. And we did not find the hot springs because after about 3 minutes of driving, it began to snow.
Like, hard.
It was dumping snow, and so we didn't get hot springs, but we got a little taste of snow before coming to California for the winter, which was sweet. And that's about all for that adventure.
Except that it was fucking freezing that night, and I couldn't sleep at all.
She used my 15-degree sleeping bag underneath our 20 blankets to sleep. So that was great. Then the next day, we made our way to Ashland, a few hours. Davis saw a wolf
I did.
while we were driving there.
It was beautiful. I'd never seen a wolf before, and I looked out my window, and
Just in a field.
it was just
There was
there.
a wolf. And then when we got to town, I was driving the bus, and I was just getting into the town, and a family of 5 deer slowly passed across my way to welcome me into the town. It was so beautiful and awesome. And I pulled in, and I found a perfect spot right by this super chill brewery. And I got there, and I ordered us some drinks and some fries, and then Davis got there, and she was like, "That's 15-minute parking." So
Right in front of a municipal court, like
Yeah.
a government building.
So she sat down and waited for our drinks, and
I had walked up to the drinks.
Fries presented to her, and I sprinted to the bus, and I drove around the town looking everywhere to try to find a place that I could park a 30-foot bus. And I finally found this, just a parking spot with like on a hill, like a 70-degree hill, and like maneuvered my way onto it. It was crazy. Anyway, that was great. We got great drinks.
Mm-hmm.
I got a nice porter. You got a cider. We had truffle fries, which were amazing.
Oh my god.
She left me a couple, which was
Only
nice.
a couple.
And then we went and found a nice pull-out to sleep at.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
It was
the mountains were there.
Beautiful.
We woke up that morning, though, to this random rumbling noise that was in behind the bus. And I was like, what the fuck is that? Duncan goes, I think that's a truck, like, idling its engine. And so it was just back there, like, rumbling from, like, 6 a.m. to, like, 8 a.m. And we ended up getting up early. And
we made our way. Next, we moved on to Mount Shasta, which, super sweet town. Beautiful, just, like, very, very outdoorsy, cool, small, kind of hippie town.
We went on a hike. We took Cleo. This was her longest hike ever. I was so proud of her.
It was amazing. It's like a 5-mile hike up to a place called Heart Lake.
We took her on the leash, and 2.5 miles up, and she, like, walked the entire way and, like, led us the entire way.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
It's icy. Yeah, it was awesome, and the lake was so gorgeous. Amazing views of Mount Shasta and everything.
At this point, though, I hadn't gotten any sleep for a very long time, and I was so tired that, like, 2 miles in, I was like, I can't do it anymore. And Duncan had to pep talk me up to the beautiful, beautiful view that, like, was totally worth an extra 0.5 miles.
Go team. Mount Shasta was awesome. We wound up sleeping in a parking lot that night after going to Mount Shasta Brewery and reflecting on our day. Just feeling super grateful that night. And then Davis got an alert on her phone. We were thinking about staying there for a couple days, but it turned out that there was 12 inches of snow and like 70-mile-an-hour winds coming in the next day. So we booked it on out of there early in the morning.
And also we were woken every single hour that night because we were parked in this free parking lot right next to a fucking train. It felt like, I thought we were about to get hit by a train. I thought we might have parked on the train tracks. It was so freaking loud. It was probably like 30 feet away from us. It was so intense. It was so intense.
Not the best sleep, but it was sweet. And then we left and headed to Ukiah, which is where we are now. And that drive was adventurous. It was a very long day of driving. We made several stops. We went to a sundial bridge in Redding. And it just felt awesome to get into California, watching the scenery and the ecology change as we went and feeling the sun come out more and more. It was like, oh my God.
In Redding, it was like slightly overcast and like 50 degrees. And we got out and we were like, oh my gosh, like I can be in a short sleeve shirt. This is amazing. We go for this walk. And this guy we passed by and he goes, oh, I'm sorry that you're out in such bad weather today. Yesterday was so nice. And we were like, this is the best weather we've seen for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. Oh my God, this is amazing.
That was awesome. And then we wound up, we were driving into the night. It gets dark kind of early and it started to dump rain, and the last like hour of the drive was intense. In the bus's headlights aren't great, and it was winding roads, and I had been driving the bus for a long time that day, and then Davis finished it off, and I was sending you positive energy to get through that last part. That was intense. And we then arrived to Road B, to the farm here, and were welcomed with a warm feast, and there's like 6 people living here now, and everybody was in the kitchen waiting for us, and it just felt so welcoming, and being here feels so good. We're having such a good time connecting with Jenny and Charlie and Peter.
We went to live music last night, a beautiful jazz band. I
got to go for a mountain bike ride yesterday. And we totally reset the bus and
picked a bunch of apples.
Yeah, we're just sinking in here, and gonna spend some good time here. Really, really excited.
Yeah, me too.
Anything else?
I think that's it.
All right. That is trip report number 3.
Number 3!
Oh, God. Where's the button?
It's right here.